All right, what is up, y'all? In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how I went through a bulking journey and I was able to put on muscle without putting on fat and maintain my visible abs. And this was like my second phase of self improvement. This only took about 5 months. And I'm sure for you, as if you have a system and you stay consistent with it, as I was experimenting, you can get this in 90 days or less. Okay, so a little background, this was my physique about a year or two ago, year and a half. I forget sometimes, but my physique stayed the same up until 6 months ago. And that's when I decided to lock in again, actually be disciplined because I knew I was wasting my potential and I was selling myself short. And I decided to go on a second phase of self improvement. And this is the end result about a month or two ago. So, no pump, no editing. And this is a different bathroom, obviously, but obviously the natural lighting. Okay. Well, not natural lighting, but like, I didn't do any overly edited. I didn't like kind of play around with the angles. I'm standing up tall. As you can see, I put on muscle compared to like what I looked like back then. I look like deathly ill here. Okay. So again, this is how you can bulk without getting fat and look jacked year round. And basically based on what I do, what I'm going to share in today's video, this is how I stay lean year round. And if your goal is aesthetics and your goal is to put on muscle because you're skinny or you're skinny fat, this video is for you. Okay. So got a couple steps here. The first one, we'll start off with 85-15. That just means that you got to eat 85% clean, minimally processed foods, and then the rest you can eat whatever. Okay? As you can see, this is the meal. These are the meals I cook. If you see ketchup, I love my little red 40. You got to find something that you can pair with your meals, salsa, a little bit of cheese, ketchup, or whatever your staple condiment is so that you can chow down and enjoy the meal. So obviously, this one is a little too bland for me, so I add some kimchi, right? Or I can add a little salt. It just depends on your flavor. But the goal is to stick to minimally processed single ingredient foods. Do you notice how in each of these meals, obviously I have like Raisin Bran, Triscuit, ketchup, whatever, a little bit of fried chicken. It's still like most of it is clean. This is ground beef. This is sweet potato, eggs, egg whites, eggs, rice, things like that. So now you notice like you can actually see foods that you can pronounce with, what do you call it? Sorry. Like you can see foods that you can actually pronounce, not unlike artificially processed foods. And also, they're when you eat these kinds of foods, nutrient dense foods, single ingredient foods, you're easily more likely to get full and not overeat on this sort of stuff. Because if you go to In and Out, if you go to Jack in the Box, it's a lot of calorie dense foods that you can easily overeat, and that's why this builds up over time. It might not seem like it, but that's why you're in the exact position you are in today if you're not happy with your physique. Do you see what I'm saying? So if you prioritize 85, maybe even 90, but me personally, I'm good with the physique I have, and I want to enjoy my foods. I love food. This is what I'm going to eat. Okay. I'm not trying to, I'm obviously trying to increase performance, but I'm not trying to maximize performance. I'm not like a bodybuilder. I'm not an athlete or some sort who has to be high maintenance with their diet. Okay. So again, minimally processed foods. This is going to cause you to have these foods have higher satiety, so you're easily um likely to get full, and so you don't overeat. You can still eat the foods you enjoy if you maintain discipline throughout this, right? Throughout the day, you eat most of your meals are good, and then you can have a dessert or chips or whatever, one meal that won't break the bank of your calorie bank, okay? And it doesn't make you fat. All right, moving on to the second point is to track your weight. I don't know why people eat and they don't track anything. You're literally just throwing darts in the dark, and you have no roadmap to guide you. Like sometimes you'll weigh yourself a month. Some people will weigh themselves at the beginning of the month, and then at the end of the month they gain like 3 pounds, and they don't know what the hell happened in between. And that's why you have to be tracking your weight every single day. So you do this by waking up first thing in the morning. You're fasted. You don't drink any water, and you go to the bathroom. That's how you'll get your true weight, is in the morning. So you see, like, obviously my wake up can be consistent. That's before I locked in, but I was still tracking my weight. Okay, and this is like a little back then, but I still tracked my weight when I had the 5 month transformation. This is just an example. Okay, you see how the weight fluctuates daily, but by the end of it, about 2 months in, I'm slowly starting to gain weight. It's like stocks. You got to think about it as stocks. It goes up, it goes down. It's never consistent, but that's ideally what we would want to be doing, right? So tracking weight is going to cause you to not go in blind, right? If you don't have a system, if you're not tracking anything, then where the hell are you going, right? This allows you to hypothesize on why your weight might have dropped or might have increased to see if you're on the right track. And that's why you do these things based on your lifestyle, based on your habits. Do you sleep late? Do you work out for like 3 hours a day or whatever? What's your lifestyle like? Or you don't even walk at all, you don't exercise at all. But the thing is, you got to treat it as data. It's not the end all be all. Just because you gained, let's say, like, for example, right here, I lost 3 pounds literally overnight. And that could have been because I played basketball that day, because I did a lot of cardio. I didn't eat that much. I got sick or whatever, right? You got to treat it as data. You got to use it to hypothesize what's going to happen the next day and predict. And the thing is, because I was mainly consistent with this, I weighed myself almost every single day or every few days or so. I was eventually able to get to my goal physique and goal weight, because I was trying to bulk back then too, a little bit, when I was skinny and when I put on a little muscle, okay? All right, third thing we got to talk about. Let's talk about it. Dirty bulking. Dirty bulking makes absolutely no sense to me, because I can only think of two things. Dirty bulking is if your goal is to get, I don't know, stronger in the weight room. This is obviously for people with aesthetic purposes. If you want to look good, if you want to feel good, but you also want to gain strength, just stay lean. Just get in a slight caloric surplus. You don't need to be eating like shit. Dirty bulking is an excuse for you to eat everything in sight. So therefore, it's gonna cause food disorders. You're gonna get tired of food. You're gonna constantly try to choke yourself out with food, try to stuff food in your mouth, and then because you're eating anything and everything, you have no filter, because that's what dirty bulking is associated with. No discipline, no self-control, gluttony, self-indulgence. And so when you put all these things artificially, chances are you're eating a lot of artificial foods. You're going to jack up your gut microbiome, your digestive system, because now you're eating so many calories. You're eating so many artificial sources of everything. It's going to upset your stomach. It's going to ruin your hormone balance. It's going to ruin your sleep. You're going to have low testosterone, because if you have more fat in your body, your body's going to start producing more estrogen, things like that. And so testosterone isn't going to be mass produced. So lean is law. This is how I'm able to stay lean year round. And the thing is, you don't really need to be strong if that's not your goal. Like, I'm still, like, pound for pound pretty strong. This is a power clean. This is not a front squat. So I'm deadlifting it from the ground and I'm throwing it up and I'm catching it. I weigh about 145 right now, 150. This is about 180, so I can toss that weight around too. So I'm not weak. The thing is, like, you're just getting fatter, and you think you're getting stronger due to building muscle, but there's other components that play into getting stronger and building muscle, which is new adaptations. You're getting better at the skill of whatever you're trying to do: bench press, squat, deadlift. And because you have so much fat on your body, of course you're gonna get stronger. Mass moves mass. So, like, the flappy arm, right? The fat in your arms when you're bench pressing, there's so much fat because it acts like arm sleeves. So, those bodybuilders, right? They put those arm sleeves there, so it increases and makes their lever more powerful. They're able to push through because there's so much more cushion. That's basically what getting fat does to you in dirty bulking. You just put on unnecessary fat, and then it lubricates or it compresses your joints even more. It reduces the range of motion in which you can actually reach. And so it seems like you're able to push more weight, but you can't go full range of motion, right? So lean is law. Try to avoid dirty bulking. We can talk about it if you want. Just DM me in the messages and Instagram. But lastly, you have an inconsistent life. So what this means is there's things that go on outside of the training. It's not just the training. You can't be just consistent in training. You got to be consistent outside. Do you keep your word as a man? Like, do you party? Do you smoke? Do you hang out with friends when you know you shouldn't, or you stay out late at night and you do all these other things that kind of contradict your goal? You're trying to get to sleep earlier. You're trying to improve your sleep. Wait, what? I just repeated that. You're trying to improve your sleep. You're trying to train harder, stay in the gym, reach all these goals, but your actions don't match otherwise, right? You live a hedonistic lifestyle. You train whenever you feel like it. You don't have a system, and you constantly feed into this cheap dopamine feedback loop of, I don't know, hitting the pen, hitting a vape, or you run away from your mind. You don't journal, things like that. Like anything, you feel your life spirals out of control. But the thing is, you wait for yourself to feel better about yourself and to feel motivated, and that's when you take action. The secret is in doing it whenever you don't feel like it. You should chase that, because how are you going to say you're not getting results when you haven't stuck to something for at least 3 months, 6 months, maybe even a year? That's how long it takes. That's how realistic progress is made. But yet, most of you guys are so fast. You guys are thinking too fast because social media has warped your reality, your expectations of getting these results. The thing is, yes, you can implement systems, and that's what I have implemented for you guys through my own trial and error. I did it in 5 months. I've documented the journey on Instagram, and you guys have seen it. Some of you guys who do watch my stories, you guys have seen the process on how I have done it, my morning routine, sticking to my word, completing the tasks that I need to go throughout the day, non-negotiables. This is how you get your dream physique, as I have, and I'm still wanting more. I'm just moving the goalpost. Like, I'm happy. I'm pretty content with this physique, but I'm gonna try to experiment and see what I could do more with it. So, but yeah, if you follow these 4 things, you will get to your goal. Okay, but if you're still continuing to struggle, if you need more specific, nuanced solutions, feel free to reach out to me. I do offer one-on-one coaching. And if you are serious about changing your physique and you're serious about changing your life, your mindset, it's not just the physique. It's the stuff that goes on outside of this that continues, that gets you to continue to stay consistent with your training. But feel free to reach out to me on Instagram, hit me in the DMs, just ask me questions. I'm willing to help you guys out, and I want to help each and every single one of you guys win. Okay? I know, this was kind of disorganized, but I hope, this was fairly, consumable, condensable. I try to condense it as much as I can. But yeah, peace, guys.